The hills surrounding Lake Okanagan will be lit up again tonight. People anxious to know if their homes are still standing. Evacuation orders expanded through the night and day. The McDougall Creek fire burned closer to West Kelowna as more fires started on the Kelowna side.
West Kelowna was ablaze, but most tragically, what appears to be structures on fire, fully involved. The people where we are now went from safely watching from across the lake to frantically evacuating themselves. We witnessed embers jump from the west side across to the east side of the lake where we are here.
If by any chance you didn't hear, we've been all over the news, across the world, even in Croatia. A little towns of West Kelowna and Kelowna were in the news. BC has been on fire. Canada's been on fire. Worst fire season ever. West Kelowna is burning. It's been pretty scary. Luckily, there was no human casualties. A lot of structural damage. I think they said 200 structures so far. Fire is now at 12,000 hectares. We first saw the smoke. It was on Tuesday when we were playing beach volleyball. On Thursday, the winds picked up and then it just spread so fast. It even jumped the lake from West Kelowna to Kelowna. That is smoke. I didn't feel like I was in danger. Louis was with me most of the time and we had a go back ready. Luckily, the wind was blowing kind of away from the city. I know a few people who had to evacuate. It's a shitty feeling. It kind of sucks to read about what people think, what starts the fires and how the governments are in on this, especially about Jewish space lasers. I'm part Jewish. I don't practice Judaism, but, it's in my blood. Why would they fire a laser near me? They should let us know in the annual Jewish Space Laser Conference. But honestly, the CGI in these videos and people believe in that, it's insane. Other conspiracy theory is the 15-minute cities. If you don't know what 15-minute cities are, it's basically every city in Europe where you have neighborhoods where your grocery stores, pharmacies, and schools and everything that you need is within 15 minutes of walking, or 15 minutes by bicycle, or 15 minutes by public transit that actually works well. Unlike here in North America, they think the government is implementing districts where you're not gonna be allowed to leave. It's an insane theory. It's one of my favorite ones. Another talking point is climate change. Obviously, as a normal human being, I believe in it. I believe we are the major contributor. Which generation is to blame? All of us probably. It's our responsibility to fix it. Yeah, if you don't believe in climate change, I don't know. Really, I think it's been proven. I think it's not a scam anymore. I don't know why the government would be in on it and all the scientists. It's ridiculous. Facts are there. You deny climate change, fine. I don't think people will change their minds. There will be more wildfires. There will be more floods. There will be less land we can grow our crops on, and supply chains are going to be very screwed. The thing I wanted to talk about is our economic system and kind of political system. If you don't know, I'm an economist. It's not something I was always very interested in, but I got my bachelor's degree there. I kind of work in the industry. I work in investments. I follow the markets. I follow the economy. I had a thing for macroeconomics while I was studying. I liked it more just because I like geography more and geopolitics. It's been way more interesting for me. I have my opinion about the system, and I wanted to share it. Unlike most economists and unlike Wall Street, I think our whole system is a Ponzi scheme. It's based on belief in money and currency. More importantly, it's based on unlimited growth, right? So if the economy stagnates, everything's going to stagnate and it's going to go downhill. If it's based on unlimited growth, it's based on unlimited resources, which we don't have. That's where the kind of scary part is, right? We do have a finite amount of oil and gas and coal. We had a golden age from 1950s to 1990s, whatever. It's still growing. The economies are growing, but they're growing based on the assumption that all the debt and all the liabilities that the governments have, it will be paid off. There's a lot of debt because there's an assumption that there's going to be growth from all these resources because we are so amazing and our economy is strong and nothing's wrong. I always picture like a homeless person reading the newspaper or something and being like, "Wow, the market is stronger than ever," and he's like, "Yeah, that's awesome." I think there's so many inefficiencies in the market. One major one being that economists think that $1 of a good like pencils is worth the same as $1 of energy like oil, which is not the case. Nothing's going to happen if you have less pencils. Pencils is going to be just a little bit more expensive, but you need oil, you need fossil fuels, you need energy to produce everything. At the point when we are going to run out, like predictions are whatever, 2040, 2060, or 2100, doesn't really matter. It's going to happen sooner or later. People say, well, we're going to think about new technologies and we're going to adapt. Maybe, probably not, because you're going to need a lot more of these current resources like fossil fuels to research and build and implement all these new technologies. And that's all considering that there's no new like geopolitical tensions due to shortages or due to like climate change or whatever. There is quite a bit of fossil fuels left. They are lower quality, they're harder to reach, so more costly to reach. You need more energy, more money, and they're more environmentally dangerous. My opinion is that in any case, even if we run out and we don't have a solution for it, or if we don't run out and we think about some new solutions, whatever the case is, we are going to see a big change in like prices, obviously very big increases, shortages, global supply chains are just going to collapse. I just think it's unfortunately going to end in uprising. It's just going to be a revolution, right? I'm hoping it's going to be more like proactive. We can deal with this, kind of agreeing with each other, but most likely it's going to be reactionary. More and more people are going to be in poverty, the middle class is going to disappear, everything's going to be more expensive, unaffordable. So that's my doom and gloom prediction. I'm a realist. I know it sounds like I'm an alarmist, but I am probably. There's more and more people like me, which is comforting to know. I like hearing from people who don't think like me too. It's important to have this community who you can share your thoughts with. A lot of us have small kids. I don't want to leave the world as it is. I would love to see a big change. I think there's going to be a huge change in the systems, like huge, in the next 20 years. Kelowna is very conservative, always has been. Kelowna's MP, Tracy Gray, tweeted about axing the federal carbon tax on the day of the fire. Even if there wasn't a fire in her riding, like all of BC, a lot of Canada is on fire. She had the audacity to tweet something like that. Like, to me, that's insane, and people will still vote for people like that. A city like this, it's important to find people who think like you, and I'm lucky to have like people in my life pretty much all over the globe who think like me, and it's not too late to change things. The system is not something that's natural, like we made it. We can change it, we can make it better. Obviously going to depend on elected people who can make a change, and the average person in the world is probably an idiot, but there's amazing people out there who can make a change. And talking about that, like kind of leave it on a lighter note, 2 weekends ago, so last weekend now was the fire, the weekend before that, me and my buddy went to a music festival called The Revel near Headley, BC. It's about a 2-hour drive from here. We were volunteering as photographers, 200 people, everybody felt safe knowing that there's people like that out there. There was like zero hate, zero negative energy. Amazing time, another good weekend. I also made a video. I rated 2 out of 10 because I didn't plan really the shots. It's not all doom and gloom. You can change it, maybe not. Vote for people who you like, not against people who you dislike. Good or bad, something will happen. There's a big change coming. I think the most important thing is you gotta educate yourself. You gotta read and you gotta discuss it, not just give up. Don't learn from conspiracy theorists and don't learn from the regular mass media. There's things out there you can read and listen to if you're not into reading or you don't know how to read. That's it.
So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they raping everybody out here.